Alright, Chapter 10, Waste Management, Hazardous Waste Policy. Hazardous waste disposal costs are the costs associated with collection, treatment, storage, transportation, disposable hazardous waste. This includes all the defensive reutilization, marketing services, and other contracting agent. Cost direction related with the packaging, off-site shipping of the waste does not include the disposal of the special waste defined with the non-hazardous unit unless otherwise defined with the hazardous state and local regulations and country-specific final governing standards. Asbestos, chemical, biological agent waste, radioactive waste, and regulated medical waste. Garrisons must directly charge and seek reimbursement for the non-Army tenants' activities funded through the operating with the Defensive Business Operating Fund of the Army Working Capital Fund and Procurement Fund with the procurement of the ammunition Army Research Development Fund with the Research Development Testing Evaluation and Army Testing Evaluation Command activities led to Department of Defense funded with the activities primarily Defensive Logistics Agency, Medical Management, Defensive Commissioner agents through the appropriated funds can be used, but the non-appropriated for the fund activity Category C is subject to the available funds for the headquarters of the Installation Management Command. Special installations will pay for the hazardous waste disposal. Excess of the exercise hazardous material must be handled in accordance with the AR200 and garrison procedures. Hazardous waste generated under the services and facility maintenance, construction contracts, construction demolition, debris, paint, soil disposal of sand from the rain, sludge, and wash racks and oil water separators, water treatment plants, and so forth should not be separate. Should not be separated and funded with the original contract. The garrison environmental will be considered the generator defined for the purpose of the orphan waste from the non-posted waste, but the whole household hazardous waste collection comply with the applicable federal, state, local law regulations, final governing standards to effectively manage the highest rate of reduction in energy generation, minimize the need for the Army-owned, operated, but the hazardous waste treatment, storage, disposal facilities. Minimize hazardous waste generation through the pollution prevention action, for example, source reduction, material substitute, reuse, cycling, using the cost-effective, timely implemented pollution prevention solution to reduce and elimination compliance with the prohibited storage of hazardous waste underground storage tanks except with allowed with the final government standard legal other requirements. Title 40 U.S. Standard Code 6901, Subpart C, Part 260, 279, Title 40 CFR Registration, Department of Defense 4500 INR, Chapter 204, Part 7, 171 through 178, Title 49 CFR regulations, overseas installation, county seat, final government standards requirement, major program goals, continually reduce the volume of hazardous waste generated with the Army installation, maintain compliance with the pertinent hazardous waste regulation program requirements. Systematic evaluate the waste stream to ensure the potential hazards of special waste are properly identified with the characterized, and ensure all the persons handling and managing the hazardous waste are provided with the appropriate training, developing the implementation of hazardous waste management plan and other comparable documented appropriate the size and complexity of the operation hazardous waste management program or comparable documents should include at the minimum the written procedures. All aspects of hazardous waste include the identification, storage, transportation, hazardous waste, training of the personnel track manifesting, maintaining required record. Maintain appropriate records in accordance with the RCRA, applicable state and final governing standards, requirements, compliance with the state and environmental protection agency, applicable to final governing standards, annual and biannual reporting requirements, and ensure the hazardous waste manifests are only signed and those of individuals who have been appropriately trained or authorized writing of the garrison commander of the Title 40, Department of Defense 4509 ARC Chapter 204. Ensure the Garrison Command signs the RCRA hazardous waste permit application to install sub-installation supported by the facility owner. The responsibility cannot be delegated. Officials in charge of the tenant activities will sign the permit application as the operator of the for the defense of the logistics of the DRMS. The commander will sign the operator for the Army Reserve Services facility. The Reserve Readiness Command will sign with the facility owner of the Army National Guard facilities. Adjutant General will respectively state and territory will sign the facility's owner for the close transferring facility of the garrison commander of the receiving installation will sign as owner, and the agency maintaining the controlling influence over the close of the transferring the facility hazardous waste management program will sign as a permit operator. If not, no DoD tenants will require the hazardous waste treatment of the storage disposal facility permits to ensure that the contracting and leasing agreement with the non-Department of Defense tenant has an harmless contains specific language regarding the operation of the facility, access, damage, environmental liability, in strict accordance with the permit conditions, and the garrison commander will sign and permit applications as the owner of the tenant will sign as the operator of the facility, use the Defensive Reutilization Marketing Office with the hazardous waste disposal for the following exemptions. The Defensive Reutilization Marketing Office has indicated the demonstrated inability to provide substances only when a waiver has been approved. The written ex-hire outline with a case-to-case basis. Waivers will be renewed with writing at every 5 years. Hazardous waste generated incidental execution service of the construction contract should be disposed of the contractor performing the basis of the contract. The contracting expense using the installation generator identification number of the own on the manifest, such as the actions must be coordinated with the installation environmental coordinator with the documented in writing. The garrison combiner will remain owner of the waste. Ensure all the contracts of the hazardous waste disposal are reviewed by the installation environmental coordinator with the director of the contracting approved of the garrison commander, such as the contracts must comply with contracting standards of the Department of Defense 4160.21M, Chapter 10. Alright, Solid waste policy. The Army proponent with the solid waste management, assistant chief of staff of the installation management, the director of facilities, the housing Army facility policy guidance on solid waste management is provided with the AR200 49 Chapter 3. Comply with the legally applicable federal, state, local requirements, but substantial procedural managing solid waste, including generation, collection, storage, and disposal, include all the terms and conditions of the state and federal solid waste permits. Oversee all the organization of the activities would comply with the countryside of the final. Country specific with the final governing standards. Any permits obtained with behalf of the installation of the host nation emphasize integrated solid waste management, pollution prevention, individual participation in achieve compliance, minimize solid waste generation, disposal, maximum recovery, recycling, reuse, the pollution prevention actions, integrate the management of the waste construction demolition activities such as that a significant amount of the materials generated can be reused for the original form, but with no processing through the systematic disassembling, deconstruction, more carefully handling, segregating, making them available to specialized market, ensuring the accumulation, storage, and transfer facilities are designed to construct and prevent the release of environmental, legal, and other requirements. Title 42 U.S. Standard Code 6910, Subtitle D, the Public Law 98 through 616, Public Paragraph A, Section 6941 through 6949, Title 42 U.S. Standard Code, Subpart D, it is amended in Part 239, 258, Part 261, Title 40 Code Federal Regulations, applicable final governing standards, Executive Order 3423, Army Regulation 42049, Chapter 3 identifies Army policy managing solid waste section of AR200 supplements AR42049, identifying environmental aspects of solid waste and management. The AR41515 Appendix F, the F37 Army Disposal Demolition Program describes the Army requirement for the disposal of 1 square foot of the facilities to offset each square foot of the new construction and data with the real property inventory. The DAPAM 4011, Chapter 4, Section 411 defines the Army policy in managing regulated medical waste management program. Major program goals. The environmental goal of the Army Solid Waste Management Program are always to protect health and environment, increasing solid waste diversion, minimizing the generation of the solid waste, and increasing the program's economic benefit, investing pollution, preventing initiatives, better managing costs associated with disposal and diversion. Program requirements are on installation. Army-owned landfills operated with the Title 42 U.S. Standard Code 6941 through 6949A meet the criteria for the municipal solid waste as defined with the federal regulations. State approved the program installation may also operate with the landfill, specifically with the construction, demolition, debris, and or not hazardous industrial process waste as determined by their mission. The landfills will be operated in accordance with the applicable federal, state, and local regulations. Chapter 11 Storage tanks and oil hazardous substances spills.